Moon. Hi, Brandon Walker. I don't feel my mic right now. Am I good? I'm good. You give me the thumbs up? All right, I'm Brandon Walker. More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country, coming to you from the SEC Country studios here in breathtaking Atlanta, Georgia. It's nice outside. The sun's actually shining, which hasn't really happened that much lately. Hey, Mississippi State goes to Louisville and beats the hell out of the Louisville Cardinals. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I generally prefer when Mississippi State beats a team to sleep like that. Hello, Matt Weisinger. Hello, Sisk. Hello, Darren Butler. Hello, Ginger Tuck. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about Mississippi State going to Louisville and qualifying for the NIT Final Four. We're going to talk about football. Football practice started yesterday. Joe Moore had his first practice ever as the coach of the Mississippi State Bulldogs. And, hey, Nick Fitzgerald looked pretty good. Looked pretty good walking around out there. And then we'll talk about what Joe Moorhead had to say about his offense a little bit later on. 2-minute drill at the end of the show. I don't think it's going to be a 30-minute show like it was yesterday. I think it'll be pretty standard, a pretty cut and dry, maybe 15 to 20-minute show. We'll definitely talk about basketball because that's kind of carrying the moment right now. Hail State from New Orleans. Hello, Glenn Duncan. Hello, Carolyn Crane Lindley in Dallas. Bob Giles says it is snowing where he is. I don't know where you are, Bob, but sounds good. Hail State from Troy, Illinois. Chris Smith. Haven't seen Troy, Illinois here before. Troy, Illinois. That's fun to say. Troy, Illinois. Hail State from Stark, Vegas. What do you think about the football team? I think it's going to be very, very good in 2018. I think it's a 10-win team, maybe an 11-win team. Grady Stokes says, I love the shirt. Thank you for noticing the shirt. I was really worried. Nobody else has said anything about the shirt. Look at that shirt. Is that a good-looking shirt? That is a good-looking shirt. You know where you can get this shirt? Maroon and Company. We'll talk about them later. Hey, by the way, tomorrow, since I got about 138 of you here, tomorrow on this show, I don't know how I'll do it, but I'll give away this Maroon and Company hat. I'll give that away to somebody. We'll figure out how to give it away, but I'll give away this Maroon and Company hat. Not that I really want to. It's just because it got sent to me and I can't wear hats. I can't wear hats because of the ridiculous shape of my head and the fact that my ears are so big. I look like a trophy when I put a hat on, so I can't wear them. Landshark, you ever seen me wear a hat? It's ridiculous. I can't wear a hat. Well, first of all, my head's too big. No hat fits me. Would you like to see me in a hat right now? I'm going to show you guys me in a hat. All right? It is troubling to look at. You look at me right now. I know I'm not good looking, but I'm decent. I'm average, okay? But when I put a hat on, it goes haywire. Stuff goes crazy. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put it on. We got to take the headphones off. Is that awful? That is awful. Can't wear hats. Hi. Brandon Walker, more Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast. Mark West says, take it off my eyes. That's awful. That's not nice. Lewis Williamson says, my God, man. And Chandra Gordon Smith said, it looks good. Hello, ladies. Hello. Not as bad as you think. Thank you very much. It's not that bad. Wow. You guys are sweet today. I didn't expect that. What did you think, Landshark? Was it that bad? So, yeah, that's a yes. I can't hear my mic in my headphones. It's bothering me today. Can we work on that? Did you just clap at it like it was the clapper? Well, I can't hear myself. Look pretty good for you. Thank you, Mike Elledge. You got a noggin like a John Rocket. I don't know what a John Rocket is. I know what immediately comes to my mind, and it's disgusting. I think a hat looks great on you, especially maroon hats. Anyway, we'll give this hat away tomorrow. We'll give this hat away tomorrow on this show, although you guys do have my confidence up. If it fit, I would wear it. I do have a lot of Mississippi State hats they've sent me over the years. Let's look at this shirt. Can we look at this shirt? Move, Cowbell. Look at that shirt. That's a good-looking shirt. That is a good-looking shirt. Maroon and Company. You can follow them on Twitter at Maroon and Company. We'll talk about that. So we're going to talk about basketball. We're going to talk about football, and we're going to talk about football. Then we'll do the 2-minute drill to go ahead and round this show out today as we have a more cowbell here on Wednesday, the day after Mississippi State beats Louisville by 23. Can you imagine going to Louisville and winning by 23? It's still a talented team. It's still a tough place to play, and we just walked in there and beat the hell out of them like there was nothing to it. I'm very excited about this basketball team, and we will talk about it. There we go. Starting to work now. We will talk about it at length today. Now, can you guys quit jimmying around with the microphone and let's start the podcast? A little bit. Just don't worry about it. So you'll go ahead and fire my music up. Why are you pointing at me?
The More Cowbell Show, brought to you by SEC Country. And now, your host of the More Cowbell Show, Brandon Walker.
That's me, More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country, coming to you from the More Cowbell Studios. Well, not the More Cowbell Studios. Other people use it. The SEC Country Studios here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. I got the Shrekking crew on the other side of the glass. They are doing just a remarkably terrible job today. It is wretched on the other side of the glass. But Terp, if you're out there, please come back. Please. I don't like you, but please come back. All right. More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast here on SEC Country. I am Brandon Walker. I am he. He is the host of the show. I very much enjoy being him, and that's who I will be for the rest of this show. Now, on today's show, Mississippi State goes to Louisville and beats the tar out of the Louisville Cardinals. I didn't even talk about this much on the show yesterday. I felt like State could go up there and win. I felt like it would be a toss-up, which team wanted it more. And every time, I don't remember a time being as pleased with the effort of a Mississippi State basketball team as I was last night. They went to Louisville. There was never a doubt. They won by 23 points. Everything worked. Every player was engaged. Every player played well. And Louisville just got blitzed from the opening tip. And I can't remember doing that. And listen, Louisville is an NIT team, of course, but they're still a very talented team, and they're still a team that plays well at home. It's hard to win in that building, and we treated that building like a fire hydrant. And you know what dogs do to fire hydrants. We absolutely went in there and handled our business. We'll talk about that at length on the show. We'll also talk about football. Mississippi State. I didn't ring the bell, did I? Forgot to ring the bell. All right. We are official here on More Cowbell. We are officially ringed in. We are officially started here on More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast. We'll talk about basketball. We'll talk about football. Nick Fitzgerald looks like he was back running around on his ankle. It was heavily taped up, but he was doing more than I thought he would do yesterday's spring practice. I think that's a good sign. And Joe Moorhead, the Mississippi State head coach, had certain things to say about his offense in a podcast appearance a couple of days ago. So we'll talk about that because it was very, very interesting. And yeah, I have reached out to Mississippi State to see if I can get Joe Moorhead on this show. If it happens, you guys will be the first to know. By the way, before I go any further, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you this. Today is March 21st, all right? More Cowbell's 1-year birthday. More Cowbell is turning 1 on Tuesday, thank you, Tuesday, March 27th. So you're all invited to the 1-year birthday party of More Cowbell here on SEC Country. I'm sending out invitations. That's what I actually got a graphic artist last night to get invitations. Those arrogant little, oh, my baby's turning 1, come to their party. I'm spending way too much on invitations and cake. That's what we're going to do for this show. Now, before we go any further, March Madness is here. March Madness is here. The tournament picks back up tomorrow. A lot of entertainment to be had, a lot of betting to be had. You need to be betting in the right place. So it's time to talk to you about the boatload of money you can make this week betting at MyBookie. If you haven't checked them out, this is the perfect time to get into the action. The Madness of March is here. Lay down some money and score big on college hoops. Come join MyBookie today. I would only recommend a service that's been good to me and our listeners. That's why I urge you to make your way to MyBookie. You win, they pay, fast and without any hassles. You're wasting your time betting anywhere else. They even have in-game live betting, so you can place a bet after tip-off. That sounds exciting. Join now, and MyBookie will match your first deposit with up to a 50% bonus. You can even enter for a chance to win their, well, I keep saying that. No, you can't enter to win that. Use the promo code Cowbell to activate your offer. That's Cowbell. That's my show. Activate your offer and visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid. All right, Mississippi State played. They won. I don't think they got paid because they didn't sign with Ole Miss. But they played, they won, they went to Louisville and just beat the tar out of the Louisville Cardinals. Let me stop again. If you're watching on the Facebook Live, you can see this beautiful maroon polo shirt with a Mississippi State baseball logo on it that I got from Maroon & Company. Great company, great store there in Starkville. We're going to give away a hat, a Maroon & Company hat on the show tomorrow. It doesn't fit my head, so we're going to give it away so you guys can have it. I don't care who gets it. We'll figure out how we're going to give that away. But Maroon & Company, follow them on Twitter, @Maroon&Co, and then go to maroonandco.com to I got lost on their website yesterday. I was looking at all kind of toys, bells. I got this Junction bell from there. I got lost on maroonandcompany.com. It was very, very fun. Maroon and Co, and you got to type out the N. Now, Mississippi State goes to Louisville and beats Louisville to sleep. I did not see it coming. I did not see it coming. I was excited about the opportunity. I was excited about this team having a chance to go to Madison Square Garden and play in the NIT Final Four. But, you know, Louisville, number 2 seed in the NIT, they're always tough to beat at home. And say what you want about how their season went and how their off-the-field stuff or off-the-court stuff has gone. Louisville is Louisville, and they're always going to have talent. They're always going to be tough to beat in that building. Mississippi State looked like a team that has made the leap. They look like a team that has absolutely made the leap. On the Facebook Live right now, you can see a play last night. Lamar Peters, woo! Look at that. I mean, let that play all the time. Inject that into my veins, Landshark. Look at that pass right there. That's Lamar Peters breaking down a Louisville point guard defender, getting into the lane, and then making an absolutely beautiful pass to Eric Holman for the dunk. Eric Holman from Kentucky, by the way, played well last night. And listen, it's the NIT, right? It's the NIT. So if you win it, you're not winning a national championship. But this isn't about this year for this team. This isn't about this year. This is about Mississippi State finally turning that proverbial corner in basketball, finally looking like a team that has the talent that it has. And I think this is a top 20 team next year. I think this is a top 4 team in the SEC next year. And if you listen to me say that and you scoff, remember that Auburn did not make the tournament last year, and they won the SEC this year. Remember that Tennessee did not make the tournament last year, and they won the SEC this year. They split it with Auburn. It can be done. It has been done. With the talent Mississippi State has accumulated, and now the weaknesses Mississippi State have been addressed in recruiting. You're talking about bringing in 5-star post player Reggie Perry, talking about bringing in a 6'10", 260-pound shot-blocking rebounder and Jethro Shizumpa. Robert Woodard can do everything at 6'5", 220 pounds. He can do everything. He fits right in the rotation. So you are bringing in a great influx of talent to a team that doesn't even really need it, to a team that is bringing back every single relevant player. And think about what you saw last night when Mississippi State beat Louisville by 23. Yes, it's the NIT, but stop thinking about it like that. It is the future. It is, and the future is arriving right before our very eyes. When we take the court next year, and I hope we schedule like a team that plans to be in the NCAA tournament, when we take the team next year, we are going to have seniors that have been through wars like Quindary Weatherspoon. We're going to have juniors that are as seasoned as possible. Tyson Carter, Lamar Peters. All of these guys are very, very, very seasoned, and they are going to be ready for war next year. But one guy changes the entire thing. Last night, Holman was good. Abdul Adu was good. Quindary Weatherspoon was really, really, really good. But Lamar Peters is the straw that stirs the drink. He is the guy. He is the guy that really, really gets it going. With this Lamar Peters, with this guy, with the way he's playing now, with the way he's handling the ball and not turning it over and getting it to people with good shots, getting the ball to people in the lane, with him facilitating the offense as well as he is doing, it changes Mississippi State's team. You're not worried about guys going one-on-one. You're not worried about guys trying to force shots. you're watching Lamar Peters get guys shots, and that's a completely different ballgame. When guys can rely on somebody else to get them an open shot, and they don't have to think, when the ball gets in my hands, I got to make 3 moves and get to the basket. They don't have to think I have to shoot a fadeaway 3. No, Lamar Peters takes care of all that for him. With him playing this well, and he's been playing this well throughout the entire NIT, this is a slam dunk NCAA tournament team next year. It allows Quindary Weatherspoon to get his points in the flow of the game rather than forcing it. And again, I'll say it one more time. It's the NIT. It's not the NCAA tournament. We know that. But it's still a nice accomplishment. You're talking about guys from New Orleans, guys from Starkville High School, guys from Velma Jackson High School, from Tiny, Mississippi, from Kentucky, from all these small towns. They now get to go to New York City. They now get to play in Madison Square Garden. If you're a basketball player, you want to play in Madison Square Garden. It is the mecca of basketball. These guys have earned that opportunity by going on the road and beating Baylor, by beating Louisville, by winning the first round game. They've earned the opportunity to go play on a big stage, in a big spotlight. I couldn't be happier for this team. But the biggest point of all, this is not the end of anything. A lot of times teams get to the NIT. Let's take Baylor, for example. They had 4 seniors. Had they won the NIT, that would have been it. They would have started over next year. This is not the end for Mississippi State men's basketball. This run right here is the beginning. This is the jumping off point. This is where we say, hey, I realized we were pretty damn good when we ran through the NIT like that, when we handled Louisville like that, when we hit the game winner against Baylor. I realized how good we could be. This is the tip of the iceberg. It's not the bottom of the iceberg. No, the NIT champ doesn't always go from NIT champ one year to into the tournament the next year, because sometimes you have an NIT champ who is senior laden, who has all these players that weren't really good enough. We are not that team. We are a team who is building. We are a team whose best basketball is all in front of us, and now you're seeing it. You're seeing the spark, and next year it's going to be a flame, and I couldn't be happier. Could not be happier. Mississippi State football, Nick Fitzgerald onto the practice field yesterday as Mississippi State opens spring practice. I don't know what I expected to see on beat writers' video, on these little Twitter snippets of video. I guess I thought Nick Fitzgerald would be in a red jersey, not doing anything, just kind of off to the side with headphones on and stuff. But as you can see, Hail State Productions put out a video of Mississippi State practicing for the first time yesterday. But there you go, Fitzgerald throwing in a yellow jersey. The yellow jersey is limited. It's not out. It's not don't do anything. You're just limited. But Fitzgerald can be seen on video running around. He can be seen with his ankle taped up. And frankly, that's ahead of where I expected. There he is throwing the ball again. That's ahead of where I expected. If he can get out there, if he can move around as well as he did, I don't think they're going to be practicing read options. I don't think they're going to be practicing 3rd and 3, so Fitzgerald running off the right side. But if he is doing all this stuff, this is a good sign. The more he can do, the better for Mississippi State this fall. The more he can learn, the more he can get up there, throw the ball deep, establish connections with his coaches and his wide receivers, the more he can do in the spring, the better we will be in the fall. And I think he's going to do more than I previously thought he would be able to do. It's a great sign. I really like seeing I just love seeing Mississippi State out on the practice field. It's a spring that I'm very excited about. Joe Moorhead taking the reins. That was his first practice ever as a head coach at the SEC level, at the Division I level. Good for him. He seemed excited. Still even keel. Even when Joe Moorhead's excited, it's still very – we're going to have to get used to that. It's not Dan Mullen, talking high pitched when he gets all antsy or anything. He's not talking about grind or strain. He doesn't have all these cute phrases. He's not poking the school up north. He's just talking football. Joe Moorhead just talks football, and I don't know. I like it so far. Couple of things, couple of player notes. Brandon Bryant not practicing. Brandon Bryant apparently serving some sort of suspension for academic problems. Joe Moorhead said he's not out there right now. He's got some things to take care of academically before he gets back out there. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little troubling. I definitely hope that doesn't bleed into the summer or the fall, because I don't think Brandon Bryant, I think the ship has sailed on him being an all-SEC player. However, he is somebody with a lot of experience, somebody with a lot of game reps, somebody that has the ability at times to be very good. He has the ability at times to kind of disappear too, but I feel like as a senior he would have fixed that. So I hope Brandon Bryant gets whatever squared away that he needs to get squared away. Now, Marcus Murphy. They asked him about Marcus Murphy, the 4-star talented athlete out of West Point, Mississippi, Point City. And Joe Moorhead said right now we got him at safety. He might eventually be a corner. He's going to practice some on offense, but right now we got him at safety. I think this guy is kind of a Swiss Army knife. He can do whatever you need him to do. But I am surprised they've got him at safety first. And I wonder if that's tied to the Brandon Bryant suspension. I wonder if they just need that extra body at safety as Brandon Bryant is not out there. I don't know the answer to that question. But I do know that Marcus Murphy is probably bound to be a defensive back at Mississippi State for 4 years in some capacity. Cornerback makes a lot of sense to me. Safety makes a lot of sense. He is going to be somebody. He's special with the ball in his hands, but he's also got just a special mix of skills. His speed, his smarts, his athletic ability, his size, and his body type. He can play pretty much anywhere. He is special with the ball in his hands, but that doesn't mean he's not special playing defense too. So I'm excited to see where he goes. Now, Joe Moorhead talked to Solid Verbal, a podcast that gets far fewer listeners than mine does. And it's far less entertaining. Then again, all podcasts are far less entertaining. Can I get a thumbs up, Landshark? That thumb is up to the side. Are you okay? You need to change in diet or something because I don't know what's wrong with you. Anyway, Joe Moorhead was talking to Solid Verbal, and they asked him about his offense. And basically, he ended up saying it was something like Chipotle, or somebody made the comment it was about Chipotle, because it's about the ingredients, right? Not that many ingredients. It's just what you do with them. It's not, you don't overthink it. You just take good quality ingredients and you mix it around till you got a great recipe and you got a great meal. Can I hear the audio of what he said?
People kind of assume that it has something to do with throwing the ball, and in a way it does. But to me, the run pass option or adding tags is a way to neutralize defensive numbers. Because to me, the run game comes down to three things: numbers, angles, and grass. Where are the best numbers? Where are the best angles for your blockers? And how do you get your speed into open space? And I think the thing with the tags and the RPOs and post-snap reading second and third level defenders, it allows you to throw the ball if the seventh or eighth defender is able to tackle the ball carrier if you hand them off. And if he isn't, you're able to hand the ball off and you're blocking 6 for 6 or 5 for 5. So, I think that's one of the reasons, Saquon, Chase Edmonds before that at Fordham, and even going back to Jordan Todman, Dennis Kennedy at Akron, that we've had running backs who've either led the league or been, in the top 2 in rushing, because we don't hand the ball off to our backs when there's people at the line of scrimmage we can't block.
So that was Joe Moorhead talking about the running game, and he was basically, talking about the running backs he has now and the ingredients he has, and it's gonna require me to do a little bit more studying, because under Dan Mullen, I could look at the offense and I could say, here's what's happening. 3rd and 3, we're gonna run Fitzgerald off to the right side. It either works or it doesn't. Very easy. It was it was like elementary school math. When this guy talks offense, it's like trigonometry. And this guy talks, I just start getting hypnotized and like lulled to sleep. Like, yes, I will follow you anywhere. Yes, the run pass option does this and does this and does this. That guy starts talking offense and it feels like a professor talking, not so much just a used car salesman. Not to say Dan Mullen was a used car salesman, but this guy's just next level. Somebody said on Facebook Live he's so analytical, and he's very analytical, very, very thought-provoking every time he talks about offense. And the ultimate, it's amazing because the ultimate statement he's making, or the ultimate statement they made on that podcast, was how simple the offense really is. It's about the ingredients, and it's about just figuring out, hey, if 7 defenders go over here, well, why don't we go over here because there's only 4 defenders? That's all it is. That's all it is. Now, it takes a lot more brain power to figure out how to do that than you would expect, but the concepts are very, very easy. I'm just so excited about the offense. I'm so excited about this offensive mind coaching us. It is definitely an offensive mind we haven't really seen in the SEC. Haven't really seen anything like this, and I'm just I don't even know how to articulate exactly what I'm looking for out of this guy, but I can't wait to see our offense on the field because I think we have some underrated ingredients. People are sleeping on Malik Deer coming back. I don't think the SEC, now we know, I don't think the SEC knows what's coming with Kylan Hill. I don't think the SEC knows what's coming with Keaton Thompson. But it's coming, and it's going to be spectacular when Joe Moorhead's offense gets up and running. 2-minute drill. 2-minute drill here on More Cowbell, a Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. I got to pull it up. That's what she said. All right, number 1. What will be the strongest part of the 2018 Mississippi State football team? Now, strongest position, strongest part, whatever you wanna say. I think there are more answers here than you would think. I think the number 1 answer that immediately comes to my mind is defensive line, but quarterback. With Fitzgerald, if he's healthy, as a fifth-year senior, and Keaton Thompson, that is lethal. Running back is loaded. Offensive line is sneaky loaded. It was one of the top 3 lines in the SEC last year, and everybody pretty much is back. Defensive line, DL, quarterback, says Brooks McCreary. Defensive front 7, says Darren Butler. Defensive line, Robert Young. I like that. Somebody says coaching, Candy Solis Williams. That's good. I like the delineation between defensive line and defensive front 7 because defensive line we know is loaded. If you look at that 2 deep, it is so loaded. If you looked at the roster they put out yesterday, Jeffrey Simmons, Montez Sweat, Gary Green, Corey Thomas, Chauncey Rivers, there's just so much talent there. Marquise Spencer would be a star on some Mississippi State teams of the past, and he's like the 6th or 7th guy. Gary Green would be a star. It would be the guy we're putting on the media guide. It would be the guy we're putting out there for everybody to see. It'd be the guy we're backing for awards. He's like the 4th or 5th guy. But then linebacker, if you bring in them for the front 7, Errol Thompson's going to be a star. Willie Gay's going to be a star. If Leo Lewis gets, there's so much defensive talent on this team. Number 2, counter to that, because we're all excited about this season. I'm excited. I feel like I'm the lead dog in being excited about this. I'm pretty much a president Mississippi State fan. I've decided that I got to get business cards. What's your biggest concern for this football team in 2018? Mississippi State fans, talk to me. What's your biggest concern? Mark West wasn't answering this question, but he says, I'm worried about the depth at linebacker. I don't see those problems really. I guess maybe a little bit. It's certainly not as deep as defensive line, but I think it's deep enough. I definitely think it's deep enough. Joe Moorhead's play calling in critical situations, says Adrian D. Brown. Ticket prices, says Reg Callahan. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Kenny Manning says receivers. I think it probably has to still be that. Even though we've fixed it with a small influx of talent, I think receivers is still a legitimate concern. Secondary playing against Alabama receivers, Jeremiah Body. I don't get concerned with that all that much. I think we're okay there. Receiver, health, how quick the offense can learn the system, says Thomas Loftus. John McNeil says what Fitz can do. Certainly. All right, let's get to the real important stuff. Number 3, who has the best fight song in the SEC outside of Mississippi State? Oh, God, your fight song sounds like it was put together by never mind, I can't say that. That would have gotten rough. It doesn't sound good. How about that? Who has the best fight song in the SEC outside of Mississippi State? It's not Ole Miss. I tell you what, I hate this team. I hate them so much. Boyd Barnett says Florida. Martin Smith says LSU. LSU is pretty good. Tennessee says Ginger Tuck. LSU, 2 votes for LSU. I think it's Alabama. I think Alabama. Alabama has a good fight song. Like, I hate them. Oh, I hate them. But that's a catchy little fight song. Da, 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 da. I mean, that's pretty good. Alabama, Rocky Top. Rocky Top is not their fight song. So when you guys are saying Tennessee, that's not their fight song. They just tack it on to the end of every damn thing they ever play, but that's not their fight song. LSU, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Only got about 3 answers there. That's surprising. All right, number 4. What's the best song that's a cover of another song? What's the best cover of a song? Landslide by Dixie Chicks. I swear, I don't know how you got employed here. I don't know who you tricked, but if you ever say Landslide by the Dixie Chicks again, oh man. The answer is I Will Survive by Cake. Shout out to Pete Scantleberry here in the SEC Country Studios. This song seems to have this one, Mad World. I don't even know who's saying Mad World. Jolene says John Joblin. Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton. That's pretty good. Huh? Is it? He didn't cover that? I don't listen to country music. Hey Jude by Wilson Pickett. Stand By Me by Mickey Gilley. I've never heard of any of it. Killing Me Softly by the Fugees. I've heard of that one. That one's pretty good. Boy, these are something else. Hey, Brandon, about to come through Atlanta from Ripley, Mississippi. Nick, eat somewhere good because they got good restaurants here. Great place. Great places to go. Smooth Criminal by Alien Ant Farm. Didn't that one come up yesterday? 2 days in a row we've had Smooth Criminal by Alien Ant Farm. And number 5, who's the best TV neighbor of all time? Who's the best TV neighbor of all time? I know what some of you are going to say. TV neighbor. Yes, the person that lived beside somebody on TV. That's what a neighbor is. Best TV neighbor of all time. Cosmo Kramer on Seinfeld. Kramer. Yeah, that's a good one. That kind of ruined what I was going to do because that one's better than the one I had. You son of... Oh, boy. Mr. Rogers. I think we might have a winner from Timothy Giles. Oh, and from Wayman Hodge. Brady Stokes says Brandon Walker. No, nobody lives here. Was Mr. Drysdale a neighbor? He was just the bank president, right? Joey Tribbiani from Friends. Wilson from Home Improvement. That's who I thought everybody would say. That's who I thought everybody would say. I don't even remember. When you said Kramer, I don't even remember the one I had in my... Oh, Steve Urkel was mine. Steve Urkel was a hell of a neighbor. Kimmy Gibbler, good neighbor. You know what bothers me? On Full House, right? Kimmy Gibbler has been there DJ's entire life. She's always been a friend of the family. She's been great, and they treat her like crap. They treat Kimmy Gibbler like she is crap. Danny's mean to her. Everybody's mean to her. What's Kimmy Gibbler ever done wrong to those people? And, you know, frankly, the Winslows don't treat Steve Urkel all that good either. Yeah, but Mr. Rogers has to win that one. I didn't even think of Mr. Rogers. But, yeah, that's. Have you seen the trailer to that movie, the Mr. Rogers movie? Well, that'll get you right here. That's what that'll do. Are we finished? Is that it? No, that was 5. Don't have to do much to get those math credits in Oxford, do you? All right. Until next time on the podcast, my name is Brandon Walker. You've been listening to More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. Somebody said Patrick from SpongeBob. Were they neighbors or they're just buddies? Were they neighbors? I didn't know that. I never watched SpongeBob because it came out in like 99, 2000, and I was busy out there with girls and drinking and playing video games and eating frozen pizza at 2 a.m. and not talking to girls. Anyway, Ned Flanders. Ned Flanders wasn't bad. The Simpsons. Dennis the Menace. Justin Tidwell. Boy, that's going way back. That's going way back. Do you remember watching that show as a kid, Patrick? Men's hoops could finish with 27 wins. Over and under 13 conference wins next year, and do we break our single season record for total wins? Next season, over and under 13 wins, I would probably go under. You got to be really good to get to 13 wins in the SEC. I would say 12 would be a good number. We won 9 this year. Should have won 10 if Missouri, we hadn't lost that one that got cheated from us. I think 12 is a good number, and we could win 13. I just wouldn't set that as the over-under. I wouldn't set that as the, the turning point. Hail State from Hulka, Mississippi. I think it's in Chickasaw County. I could be wrong about that. It's definitely somewhere up in there. I'm from West Point. Anything northwest of Houston or north of Tupelo, you got me. I don't know. You go north of Tupelo, you're in Tennessee as far as I'm concerned. Mr. Drysdale was also the Clampett's neighbor, so I didn't remember that. I didn't know that. Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force is an underrated neighbor. Larry from Three's Company? I was born in 1991, so I don't remember that. Born in 1991. Should have won 12, should have beat Vandy both times, or should have beat Ole Miss both times in Vandy, Frank Carter. I don't know if you can get into all that. I mean, should we have beaten Ole Miss first time? Yeah, in our mind we should, but they beat us by 6. So I'm just talking about the Missouri game was actually taken from us by a bad call. Vandy was taken from us because we didn't play defense. So we deserved that loss. We kind of let that happen. We didn't deserve the Missouri loss. Joe from Family Guy. I guess Joe, Quagmire, and Cleveland are all neighbors, aren't they? Of Peter. Why does Peter not have any friends that don't live in that neighborhood? Why does Peter not get out? Like, these are the only friends he's got. And how does he have that many friends in his own neighborhood? I live in a neighborhood. I don't know any of those people. They're awful. George Feeney from Boy Meets World. I don't know what that is. I know what Boy Meets World is. I don't know who George Feeney is. I thought he was the principal. Is he not the principal? He's the principal and the neighbor? Why? How come all these people live beside each other? They're the principal and they live there, and the bank owner and they live next to him. How does that work? I need to get a mic that I can carry around because this is heavy. This is very heavy. Marcy and Jefferson on Married with Children. We're still doing the neighbor thing. I didn't know the neighbor thing had this much juice to it. Where are you eating today, Landshark? Downstairs? You eat every day downstairs, don't you? You're not going to Cox today? It's Wednesday. Have we heard from Terp? Is it possible he's not coming back? What is the % chance he never comes back? 99% chance he never comes back? Wow. 91, good Lord, you're a baby. I was 12 years old in 91, Bonnie. I was lying just now. I was not telling the truth. That's what I was doing. You need a headset mic. Yeah, I do, but then I'd feel like a telemarketer. Like I'd call and ask people how to save money on their insurance or something. Which I could do that. It would be no problem. Is Landshark eating chicken on a stick? I would love. Wouldn't you love some chicken on a stick right now? If chicken on a stick just showed up. Chicken on a stick's the best lunch. It's a perfect lunch. Everything's right there. It's on the stick. There's potatoes, there's pickles, there's onions. That's why I hate Oxford anyway. But Oxford trying to take ownership of chicken on a stick is the most BS thing ever, okay? It's the most BS thing ever. You can get chicken on a stick everywhere in Mississippi. You don't have to go to Oxford to get chicken on a stick, and now they're owning it. This hoity-toity place that makes cold chicken tenders and doesn't even allow grills in their tailgates, they're going to take ownership of gas station chicken on a stick? No, I'm not allowing it to happen. I'm not allowing it to happen. Not on my watch. No. Boyd Barnett says he would knock somebody over for some chicken on a stick. David Broadway says Penn's is the best. I love Penn's. Penn's chicken on a stick is really good. The Penn's in Meridian. I was there in January. I came through to go somewhere, and I stopped at the Penn's in Meridian. Like I was hungry in Tuscaloosa, but I said, no, I'm going to Penn's to get chicken on a stick. Favorite dipping sauce? What a question. It's a good question. Ranch. But Chick-fil-A's Polynesian sauce. I love a Polynesian sauce. That's good. Frankly, I don't eat McDonald's anymore because I'm trying to lose weight, failing miserably. But their sweet and sour sauce kept bringing me back. It's delicious. No, McDonald's is trash food. You shouldn't eat it. But if you do go there, you need to get something dipped in sweet and sour sauce. Comeback sauce. So would you say it's pretty good? No, it's not pretty good. It's amazing. What is comeback sauce? It's something and something make comeback sauce. Like it's two sauces to make one, right? Somebody tell me what comeback sauce is. Somebody tell me, huh? Ketchup and mayonnaise? No, it's not ketchup and mayonnaise. No, it's not barbecue sauce and mayonnaise. It's two sophisticated sauces. It's not two. Let's talk sports. Thank God. Nick Stevens, where would you suggest us to try in Atlanta? Fox Brothers Barbecue. Are you Are you on 20? Are you on 75? Are you on 285? I mean, Atlanta's a big place. But I would go to Fox Brothers Barbecue. I tried it once. It was just okay, but I think I picked the wrong thing. But the brisket, fantastic. Fast forward to the 2018 Egg Bowl. Who's our starting quarterback? Fitz or Thompson? In other words, does Nick stay healthy in 2018? Ryan McMichael. I don't know how you would predict him to not stay healthy. Like, there's always a chance any player is going to get hurt. But so I don't know how you predict that. But let's just say he is healthy. Nick Fitzgerald is the starting quarterback for all 12 games in 2018. All 13 games, all 14 games, all 15 games. Nick Fitzgerald's absolutely the starting quarterback at the Egg Bowl. Can you hook me up with cheap Six Flags tickets? I haven't even been able to hook myself up. So no, I don't think I can do that. Nick Stevens, you're on I-20, then Fox Brothers Barbecue, not far off I-20. You should be able to get to that very easy. Are you from Atlanta? Hey, you in the back. You from Atlanta? Where should he try? Mississippi State fan, coming from Mississippi. He's got 3 restaurants in his hometown, okay, and 2 of them are McDonald's. Where in all of Atlanta, he's on I-20. Where should he go? I don't know what he said. Food trucks. Food trucks. All the world of cuisine in Atlanta, you say food trucks. That just sounds like a terrific recipe to get diarrhea. That sounds very risky. Vortex Burger. Vortex Burger. There's a suggestion. Memphis is great, but there's great barbecue in other places. Says, we having a barbecue debate? I didn't realize we started that. Can you hook me up with my helmet? Says Mark. Oh, this guy. Mark, I appreciate you being here every day. No. Buster Bone, what kind of food truck would you open up? What kind of food would you? So if I could open up a food truck in Atlanta, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. I would do chicken on a stick because it's in Mississippi. It's in Mississippi, and it's great. So I don't think there's anywhere in Atlanta that's selling chicken on a stick exclusively. My truck would be chicken on a stick in a truck. Chicken on a truck. Chicken on a truck stick. Chicken on a stick truck. Something. We'll figure it out. We got time, right? You'd make a fortune. Yeah, I know I would. Of course, I'm already loaded. Anyway. Could Louisville women's team avenge them in the Final Four? Well, Ethan Fleury, that is interesting. That is interesting because we beat Louisville in the Tax Slayer Bowl. We beat the brakes off them last night in the NIT. We are on a collision course to play them in the Final Four if the seeds hold up. And we might be calling on their baseball coach soon. So could be a nightmare scenario developing for Louisville as far as it comes to Mississippi State. The Buckhead Diner, says Amy Hall. Where's the Buckhead Diner? What? It's in Buckhead. Okay. The Buckhead Diner. Have you ever been to the Buckhead Diner? Is it good? You know what's good? The Buttermilk Kitchen. You ever been there? No? The Flying Biscuit. The Flying Biscuit good? Why do you keep making that face? Fine then, buddy. You just went from 132 viewers to 131. I'm out. Mark Templeton is really sore that I'm not giving him this helmet. Like, it's not my helmet to give. I know I said it at first, but it's not my helmet to give away. It doesn't belong to me. It's not mine. I don't know what to tell him. Why is he still mad about this? It's been months. Who do you think will be the baseball coach? I don't know. I don't know. There's no way for me to guess that. All I know is when the baseball coach gets here, I'm going to start going to games, and I'm going to go to sit in the lounge, and I'm going to be wearing this ballin' shirt right here. Look at that shirt. Is that a good-looking shirt? That is fantastic. The guys on the B&B show were throwing shade at you again today. What were they saying? What were the guys on the B&B show? You notice I don't really ever talk about them because I've got all my listeners and all my viewers here. I got way too much audience to be dilly-dallying with them. What'd they say, though? What'd they say? Huh? What'd they say? I'd have a hipster food truck and give them a bucket of oats for $15 a bucket. Matt Weisinger. a hipster food truck with a bucket of oats for $15. You know, I don't. You kind of look like you might be a little hipster. Are you a little hipster? I'm not talking to you, Land Shark. Move out of the way. Are you? Okay. Have you ever grown out like a handlebar mustache? Have you thought about it? You've thought about it. Okay. That's all I need to know. All I need to know. Bob said there was something wrong with you, but he couldn't put a finger on it. Boy, let me tell you something. That was hilarious. All right. Anything else? I think that's good. I think that's a good stopping point. Landshark is hungry. So am I. So we had fun. Had a good time today. A lot of people showed up. A lot of people had a good time. We'll be back tomorrow at 10:45 Central Time when we'll talk more basketball, more football, more Mississippi State. And, hey, we'll give this hat away. I don't know how, but we'll give this Maroon & Company hat away tomorrow on this show. Until next time, my name is Brandon Walker. You've been watching More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country.